Hello and welcome back to another video on Respect and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. Lots going on, of course, Double or Nothing isn't far away, so let's get straight into it. And Wardlow set off the tone for Dynamite. He called out Priestley and Cage for his actions in the previous weekend and all of the confrontation. It ended with Luchasaurus and Cage viciously attacking the TNT champion. And yeah, I think this is a very good heel-face dynamic. I'm kind of getting around to this being more Wardlow's first title defense. It definitely makes sense. So yeah, good stuff. The Elite was spotted backstage talking about their rivalry in the BCC and a faction attack. The Mox claimed that they were the Elite. Additionally, Jeff Jarrett's wife Karen Jarrett made her AEW debut during the attack on FDR ahead of their tag team title match at Double or Nothing. Not sure about the debut of Karen Jarrett, but we'll have to see where it goes. Tony Khan then also announced the tour schedule for AEW Collision, which will make its debut on June 17th, except for the debut show, and God knows what's happening there. But yeah, it will be very interesting. But yeah, the Elite BCC continuing their feud. But let's get straight into the matches. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Cassidy and Moriarty kicked off the match. Moriarty hit Cassidy with a few vicious uppercuts before attempting multiple rollouts in the middle. The international champ then turned things around in his favour and tagged Darby Allin into the match, and Big Bill was tagged on the opposite end. The 7-foot tall star flung Allin around the ring like a ragdoll as he looked in surprise. Cassidy and Allin worked together in unison as they drove through the ropes onto their opponents outside the ring. With the champions officially being tagged into the match, he tried to climb onto the top rope from the outside, but was met with a big boot by Bill, knocking him off the apron. The giant AEW star then mocked the international champions. He nursed his injured back. Cassidy dodged a couple of stunts into the turnbuckle by Moriarty and Big Bill before tagging his partner. A charged up Allin then pounced on his two opponents. His antics were cut short by Bill, who set up for a chokeslam, but he delayed it by perching himself on the top rope. But Bill followed up with a boss man slam before attempting another pin. The match concluded with Darby Allin hitting Lee Moriarty with a coffin chop and a headlock pin for the win. And yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Really fun match to kick off the show, I thought. Genuine contest. The faces kind of always felt like they were going to get the win, but still enough intrigue to make it a really entertaining match. And Jack great way to kick off the show. Sammy Guevara then took on Exodus Prime. Sammy Guevara held nothing back in his match against Exodus Prime. The Jonas Member dodged a lariat and hit Prime with a knee to the face. Although the match ended in a matter of minutes, Guevara ensured to send a bold message by pinning his opponent. Kind of a simple win. Gets 6 out of 10 from me. Kind of like a heel sucker in an easy match, I suppose. I don't know, it didn't use up too much time. Kind of worked with all three of the pillars not named MJF having a match. 6 out of 10. Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida then took on Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. The Tony Storm and Ruby Soho pounced on their opponents. Shida hit Soho with a missile dropkick. Soho then tagged in Storm, who hit her opponent with a series of kicks. Baker was tagged into the match, and as she was setting up a run off the ropes, Saraya caught her leg, and Storm hit her with a dropkick off the apron. The Outcast kept the referee distracted. Saraya mocked Baker. Soho and Storm then took turns throwing punches and defences Baker. The 32-year-old put Baker in a headlock as she continues to taunt her tag partner. The former women's champion was able to get up to her feet though and tagged in Shida as the Ruby Soho was officially tagged in. As Saraya got on the apron to cause another distraction, Shida pushed her before flying over the top rope on all members of the Outcast. Shida then hit Soho with a pin followed by an unsuccessful pin. The former NXT women's champion then threw a can of green spray to Tony Storm as she distracted the official once again. Baker tried to disperse the situation but ended up getting sprayed in the face as Tony Storm pinned her for the win. Gets 7 out of 10 for me. A lot going on. We've seen this a lot now, but still a really entertaining match. Liking what they're doing here. It gets 7 out of 10 from me. Good stuff, and intrigued to see where it all progresses post Double or Nothing, really. Chris Jericho then took on Roderick Strong in a 4th count anywhere match. As Jericho was breaking off his jacket, Strong started throwing punches. He dazed the star and struggled to gain recognize of what was happening. Strong hit him with a series of chops to the chest as the Ocho garnered his frame of mind and hit back. Strong then pulled Jericho off the apron and tried to pin him. The two men held nothing back, firing hard-hitting chops and punches before their chests were sore and red. Jericho set Strong up for the wall to Jericho, but he managed to counter it and roll out of the ring. Their brawl then spewed into the crowd as Strong used the railing to take his advantage. The chaos continued backstage and Jericho put Strong through the table. They reached the stairs and continued to hit each other with shots to the chest. Strong picked up a few plastic cutlery at the ice cream shop and flung Jericho at them, after which he splashed his face with ice cream. The two men then reached out to the arena and as Strong's leg gave way, Jericho trash talked him while Adam Cole appeared behind him. Strong then took advantage of the situation and pinned Chris Jericho for the win. Cole worked the loophole in his favour as not being allowed in the building during during the match. And yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. In fact, no, it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. I really enjoyed this match. Seeing out for Cole the right way. Yeah, really great way to introduce Roderick Strong to the AEW crowd. And Chris Jericho just putting on a banger match. This was great stuff. 8 out of 10 from me. Next up on Dynamite, it's time for Jungle Boy versus Roosh. Jungle Boy extended a handshake to Roosh, who kicked his hand, showcasing his disdain. Roosh then followed Jungle Boy outside the ring and flung him onto the barricades on all four sides of the ring. Roosh tackled into the camera as Jungle Boy struggled to get to his feet. He then threw his opponent over the barricades and bounced Jack Perry's head off a chair before dragging him back into the ring. Jungle Boy seemingly suffered a bloody injury on his forehead. As he got up to his feet, he retaliated with a series of shots for his opponent gaining the upper hand. Again, Jungle Boy fought back and Roosh was knocked again off his feet with a drop kick. The two found themselves on the top rope in the corner, hitting each other with headbutts before Jungle Boy hit him with a Hurricane Rana. He then put him in a submission hold in the middle of the ring as Roosh coiled through the ropes. The match concluded with Jungle Boy pinning a distracted Roosh for the win. Jose and Vance entered the ring, trying to choke Jungle Boy with a rope. Darby Allin came to the rescue before he found himself on the receiving end of the wrath, with Sammy Guevara running out to their aid. And yeah, it's very intriguing to see how it's all working out between all of the pillars. And yeah, it's good stuff. 7 out of 10 from me. Great match. I don't know, the only thing I would say is Jungle Boy, bro, you need to get I don't know, better relationship with Tony Khan. How are you having put in the match with Roosh, where Sammy Guevara gets a squash match, and Darby gets put in a tag team match? I mean, what is he doing, bro? But yeah, good match and intriguing stuff, and post match as well. 7 out of 10. It was then time for Ricky Starks versus Jay White on Dynamite. Jay White stood out the ring as soon as the bell rang and Starks charged towards him. The Bullet Club leader continued mind games before the Absolute caught up to him. Starks then slammed White into the barricade and mocked his Bullet Club gesture. Jay White took Ricky Starks outside the ring and the two continued to sprawl, hitting vicious blows as Robinson sat out and watched ringside. The Absolute rolled back into the ring as the referee started to 10 count. The Bullet Club leader hit Ricky Starks with a cheat shot to the left knee and targeted it as he nursed it. The 32-year-old then turned things around and hit White with chops to the chest, but his leg gave way, enabling his opponent with the upper hand. Starks gained his strength and flung Jay White across the ring with a belly-to-belly suplex, followed by the DDT off the ropes. Juice Robinson tried to trip Starks as he bounced off the ropes, but he was able to attempt to pin him, followed by a spear. As the official was distracted, Robinson entered the ring with a chair, but the Absolute grabbed hold of him and hit the ref with it. The referee turned around and advised Starks to put the chair down, however he used it on White, resulting in him winning via disqualification. And yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. I don't know, the match wasn't bad up until it got to that point. I know it's kind of only a building episode, a building match really, but still, I don't know, it's kind of put in the suicide spot second before the main event. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just not massively feeling all of it, I can't lie, at the moment. And yeah, would like a bit more of a hotter angle for Jay White, especially after Stark coming off to winning over Jericho. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 for me, unfortunately. Don Callis was then out to address his actions against Omega last week, accompanied by security, stood on the entrance ramp. McClainer came out to tear them down, but he was attacked by the CCC. The Young Bucks appeared with kendo sticks, appeared among other weapons before Hangman Page made his return. The former world champion donned an eye patch after match of BCC almost poking his eye out in their last run-in. The four men ran into the ring in a chaotic brawl ensured, with the former AEW champion then ensured BCC to an anarchy in the arena match at Double or Nothing. And just please, cannot wait for that. That's going to be absolutely incredible. Great way to end Dynamite, just absolute chaos. And yeah, Don Callis, it's still lots of questions asking about what he's going to be doing and all of that. So yeah, on the whole, this was very, very good stuff. And yeah, overall this week, Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, I thought this week's Dynamite was really, really good. Strong matches throughout the card. Building up really nicely, Double or Nothing. Still lots of intriguing storylines going into the event. Which, yeah, have been mapped up really nicely, I have to say. So, yeah, on the whole, I thought this was a great episode. On my 8 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's it for video. Thanks very much for watching. If you like, share, subscribe, and what's going on. If you want to daily wrestling news and subscribe for my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.